It's time once again for the Indie Wrap, and this time we take a look at one of the first indie titles available on the PS4 and we play some cards, because why not?
But don't you worry, Mommy always comes back. I'll be home before you even wake up. Get some nice sleep.
Okay, she's gone. She's gonna sing at the Ghost Note tonight. It's the most beautiful cabaret.
First off, from Compulsion Games, we have Contrast, which is one of the first titles available on the PlayStation 4. It's also on current gen consoles and on PC, which is what I played it on. You control Dawn, the imaginary friend of Dee Dee, the daughter of a jazz starlet and a con man trying to make things right. Dawn has the ability to shift between the real world and the literal shadow world, so gameplay swaps between conventional 3D platforming in the real world and 2D platforming on the shadows cast onto the walls by the real world. It sounds really interesting, but the execution just doesn't match up to the game's ambitions. It just isn't polished. There are just small imperfections that add up to the point where the game feels like it's going to break at any moment, and this is the real world. The shadow world is just as bad, if not even worse, but even when the platforming does work, it's generally unimaginative, as are the puzzles. So there are many reasons to bring down Contrast, but I can't quite completely dislike it, because the story throws delightfully dark, even if it does end a little too neatly, and the smoky jazz carnival atmosphere is compelling, even if it isn't fully realized, and there are times where the shadow platforming is genuinely imaginative, but again, these are few and far between. So I'm not angry with Contrast, more disappointed in it. Any moments of promise or innovation are buried beneath several layers of unpolish, and I still found myself endeared by the game, but even I admit there are many barriers along the way. Up next, we have the free-to-play Card Hunter from the newly founded studio Blue Manchu. It's effectively a mashup of Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering. You go on your adventures with your D&D heroes on the quest to find loot. The magic element comes in during battle, because every item that you equip comes with a series of cards that you can use to attack, to cast spells, to even move around. It's a fusion that works really well. There are enough cards that you can build a character of your own, and even during combat, the random nature of the card draws and the die rolls ensure that you have to think on your feet, even if it does feel like luck plays a factor more often than not. Thankfully though, any moments of frustration are quashed by the game's sense of fun. It leans into its D&D trappings rather hard, yes, but it never takes itself seriously, thanks particularly to Gary, the dweeby yet affable dungeon master that leads you on your way. His writing is light and amusing, particularly as he deals with his snobbish older brother and the pizza delivery girl he has a crush on. What's less fun though are the microtransactions. Sure, I never felt like I had to pay to win, but the game still pushes them rather hard. The worst of this is the Card Hunter Club, a monthly subscription that allows you to draw an extra item from chests. The game constantly reminds you of this, and it almost destroys any goodwill generated by the rest of the game. Having said that though, Card Hunter is still at once a light yet engrossing game. It feels like a fun session of D&D or Magic the Gathering, and the writing almost even has me caring about fantasy flavor. Almost. That does it once again for the Indie Wrap. Come back next time where we revisit the wonderful wide world of indie gaming. Ever.